This is Hunt Nebraska, the official podcast for insight into Nebraska's hunting and shooting sports community. Be sure to give us a follow on Facebook, our space for sharing stories, information, tips, and techniques. Now, Hunt Nebraska. Welcome back to another Hunt Nebraska hangout, folks. Thanks for joining us today and taking us along for the ride. Hopefully you're headed to someplace really kind of cool. I always hope that people are listening to us in our car as they're driving down, or their car, not my car, down the road to someplace fun. Maybe to go watch a movie, maybe go to the trap range, maybe headed out for a fishing trip, whatever it might be. We appreciate it, folks. If you're watching us on YouTube, I hope you're not driving, but you'll probably see some kind of familiar faces, those that make your regular appearances on here, and then a brand new face in here. We're going to start with a brand new face. We have, well, an individual in a brand new position here at the Nebraska Game and Parks. We've got Rachel Carlson in studio. What's your official title?
My official title is Shooting Range and Shooting Sports Coordinator. Shooting
Range and Shooting Sports Coordinator. She gets to say the word shooting twice, which is cost us extra.
Twice as fun.
Exactly. We've got Michael Addison from the National Wild Turkey Federation. You got me, Hershy, and then you will recognize her. Usually it takes us quite a bit to save up money to bring her back in so we can pay her, and then we've got to start saving again. Julia Plugi from She Goes Outdoors fame. How you doing, Julia?
I'm doing good.
You've been busy.
Yeah, getting kids registered for the expo.
The outdoor discovery programs, the outdoor expos coming right, next month, basically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sound so excited.
Which one is that next month, Julia?
The first one, Platte River State Park. So we have about I haven't totaled yet. I don't know the numbers, but we are full, 2 full days. So it'll probably be about 1,000 kids per day.
See, and Rachel, this is where she's better at coordinating things than I am. Her events, in April, and she's already doing this and doing that and dedicating time and energy and effort to me. I've got an event that we'll talk about here that you guys are all involved with in a couple of weeks, and I'm thinking, boy, I wonder if I should start planning this. I wonder if I should start putting this together. Folks, you'll notice that Jeff's not here, so we're able to talk about the shooting sports in this episode. I don't know how that works, but it's just the way it is. Sometimes you need some folks to not be there to allow the creative juices to flow. Maybe that's what it is. So
he might take offense to that comment, but that's okay.
Well, I'm not sure that he's listening anyway.
He'll have plenty of time to tell hunting stories.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
See, we almost always have to talk hunting when Jeff's here. I guess it's just what it is.
Note for the audience, Jeff does enjoy shooting sports too, but he also enjoys shooting snow geese, which is where he's at right now.
Well, and again, look at that. I mean, what do you say compared to what you do? He is a goose hunter. And so
we do know he is a big time goose hunter.
His world revolves around that now, the migration north and south and all that good stuff. So shooting sports is what we're talking about, but we got to explore this new position because shooting sports are something that have been happening at the expos and the school days. They've been taking part in schools through archery and some other things that we do. But your position's brand new. I mean, it's still got that new position smell to it. When did you start?
Started getting my feet underneath me in December, so there's still a little bit of that. What am I supposed to be working on?
So you can at least say this job's already spanned 2 years, though you've been here about 3 months. Mm-hmm. And that's not true. That's not true. She's been here longer, folks. If you've been out to what we now call the Turpin Outdoor Education Center, the Turpin Center here in the eastern side of the state in Lincoln, Nebraska, if you've been there, then you know that when we started building the walls at that facility, Rachel just appeared. Mm-hmm. You've been here ever since.
I was summoned.
You had the first key.
She rose up, and there she was.
I'm not uncertain you didn't have the first key card.
No, I didn't. I believe I met you here, so you were already here.
I still don't have one.
Oh, okay.
I still don't have one.
They don't work at the front door.
I know people. We can probably get you one.
Well, that's what I've been told.
Oh no, they're well aware. Then just don't trust them enough.
So what does this position do? I mean, obviously, shooting range, shooting sports. I mean, it kind of something there in the title, but that's a big area.
It's a lot of different things to look after. So it's existing ranges across the state that need more resources or suggestions about how to utilize what they're currently doing and what their materials currently are. It's getting new ranges built for communities that need them in different capacities. So we've got 3 big projects that we're moving forward with right now. And it's also coming up with programs that all of our existing, especially game and parks ranges, can put a statewide effort into and come up with cool things for people to come and participate in.
Okay, I see you got some scratch paper there. Can I steal one of those? All right. Because we're not the coordinator, Michael and Julia.
I'm listening.
How many different shooting sports disciplines or areas can you name? I'm going to go first with shotgun.
Oh, just shotgun?
For 4-H?
No, I'm just saying all the different ones. 4-H does it. We've got some archery,
Okay,
like
so do you
Joe
want
and stuff like
the
that. So
shooting
the disciplines. The
Yeah,
shooting
So
disciplines.
like air pistol?
Air pistol.
Archery.
Oh, there you go.
We're gonna see how much you 3 can get, and then I will
Fill in the
rest,
blanks.
yes.
Like, are
We'll
we
see why-
going to expand on archery, though?
Well, we might later here. I just want to see how many different types of
I mean, I could
disciplines there
expand on archery.
are. We'll try.
I'm very curious to see what Aaron's conception is of what each one is, and then we're gonna adjust that from there.
So
Okay.
am I.
Like
So am I. This will be
recurve,
interesting.
right? No.
Oh,
there's-
recurve. Okay, recurve.
Do
I
we-
would call
let's
that
go back to
traditional.
Did I say small bore?
No, we haven't.
You
but
said air
didn't.
pistol.
You said
yeah,
air
small
pistol.
bore rifle.
Okay,
Small bore rifle.
shotgun.
Shotgun,
We got
check.
shotgun. Okay. 22.
Muzzle loader.
Muzzle loader. 22. Would that be? That'd be small bore, right?
22
Yeah.
handgun and rifle.
Oh, small gun, small rimfire handgun. Okay. Or small bore. Okay.
I just signed my kid up for 4-H like yesterday, so I remember the list.
This
It's
is
like
fresh
in
in your
front of
mind.
me.
And then
Yeah.
here's a niche one that I participated in: Western Heritage or Cowboy Action.
Western
Some
Heritage.
college.
That
Some
sounds
might
like
call
a
it.
whole area there because I know 4-H also does hunting skills and
I was going to say, I
that's-
just about said hunting skills.
is right in there. So we got shotgun, air pistol,
Rec-
archery, recurve, traditional, small bore rifle, muzzleloader, handgun rimfire or small bore. You got to have rifle in there.
Yeah,
Right.
long range rifle.
Long range, short range. Is that everything else?
We're just seeing what you come up with
Rifle.
first.
What else we got? We know there's a few more. What else would you shoot? Oh, you got 5 gun. And if you forget them, 3 gun.
3 gun.
You forget a couple of them, yeah.
Well, shotgun, like
2
you
gun.
said,
I suppose there's probably 2 gun matches.
you
out
got
there too.
skeet, you got trap, which is going big here in Nebraska and across probably a lot of Midwestern states right now. You got sporting clays. You got 5 stand.
That's what I was looking for. When you said just shotgun, that was starting to worry me.
Right. That's why I was like, are we going to expand on that?
Well, yeah, and then I'm going to label this one too. And if you're a Nebraskan, this is a Nebraskan test right here. If I say this, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're not native Nebraskan or naturalized Nebraskan, people are going to scratch their head. I'm going to say blue rock. Yeah, that's just that's that shotgun sport that it's not real. It's like, let's go shoot some blue rock. Okay, all right.
That's
all
that's
right.
Nebraskan.
What's that?
That's Nebraskan.
Oh, it's,
Nebraskan.
it's certainly outside Nebraska. We call the Blue Rock growing up. In
Did you
Missouri,
really?
too. Yeah.
See, you're not that bad there in Northwest Missouri.
or Kansas.
To say about, I only grew up an hour and a half from the Nebraska border, so.
I will repeat a story I think I've mentioned here at the cabin before. When the National 4-H folks were coming in the very first time, which was, back in 2016 or 17, right around in there. I don't remember. We were having a meeting out there at the public shooting range at Heartland Public Shooting Park near Grand Island. And it was fun. We got into the shotgun realm and we got to start talking about targets and disciplines and all that type of stuff. And the Nebraskans kept talking about, we'll have plenty of blue rock. Yep, we'll do that for blue rock. We'll do that. And one of the national guys had to raise his hand and say, guys, we got to stick with orange targets. That is what the rules state, and that's what's standard across. We can't use this blue rock. And so I had to lean over and said, I'll translate for you that. That's clay targets. That's clay pigeon.
Yep.
That's skeet, whatever you want to
Nothing
call it.
blue about it.
It's
but
blue rock, and there's a lot of reasons why we call it blue rock. We won't get in here today. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Compound archery.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. About
Probably.
15.
Did you add compound archery?
I did right now.
Thank you.
you could probably do
OUMP.
Olympic style archery as its own separate discipline.
Olympic. Well, that's right. We have JOAD, Junior Olympic Archery Development Program.
Really depends on what governing body you're going with, but there are about 5 to 7 different categories of bow that you can compete in. We can get into this in a second, but basically you have all of these subdisciplines for each of these particular firearms or pieces of archery equipment, and then you have different games that you can play with them. So you can get down that rabbit hole really fast.
So what are we missing? We've got shotgun, like you said, skeet, trap, sporting clays, 5-stand, blue rock. Archery, now we got recurve, traditional, compound, and then we got into Olympic JOAD, that type of stuff. Small bar rifle, muzzleloader, handgun, rimfire.
Well, hold on. You're going from archery before we're done talking about archery, because you've got
all right.
You have your main big splits with your recurve / traditional and your compound, but within each of those, you have your bare bow, recurve, and your long
B-A-R-E.
B-A-R-E, correct.
Right.
Bare bow.
And that talks about the bow, not the archer. Okay, good.
So no sight on those.
No
and
sights.
then your Olympic recurve has a sight on it.
But still a recurve.
Yes.
Right?
And your traditional could be a recurve bow or a long bow. So the recurve bow has those little dips on the end of the limbs. Your traditional bow is basically looks like a big, the letter D when you have it that bow strung.
Instead of a fancy D.
Correct.
All right.
Instead of a loopy D. And then you have your compound bows, and typically for different games or however you set those up for scoring, you have a bow hunter setup or you have a freestyle setup.
Oh, okay. And that probably has to do with stabilizer length.
Correct. And the WYSIWYGs that you can put on for your sights.
The
WYSIWYGs.
Yes. And when I say that, I mean talking about whether you have fixed pins with no lenses for bow hunter, or if you have a single pin with an adjustable sight and you can have lenses in your peep or in your actual scope.
Wow.
This is complicated, even more complicated than I thought.
Didn't realize archery was this complicated.
Oh, it totally is. Each one, as soon as you dive into it, you find that it's complicated.
Well, and that's, I think, just as people get more into it, they have their own little nuances they like, and then pretty soon does that give them a little bit more of an advantage? Are there enough people that want to use it? If so, sometimes that means we have a different division.
Yes.
Traditionally, now we're not adding a whole bunch right now, I'm guessing, but...
No, we don't want to add more.
We don't want to add more.
No. But most of the time, they group everybody together, so you're competing against folks with the same equipment.
So how many is that with just archery then?
I said somewhere from 5 to 7. It depends on where you go.
Wow. Okay. 7 is a good number.
And then it depends on whether you're shooting paper targets, indoor or outdoor, what size of target, whether you're shooting outside at 3Ds or you're shooting field targets, going around a course. I mean, the possibilities are pretty much endless.
And Julia, as you know, in our Archer in the Schools program, which we're getting ready for, folks, March 15th and 16th in Lincoln, Nebraska, we're going to be there doing our state tournament, the largest archery event in the entire state of Nebraska. We're going to have 800 plus youngsters, 4th through 12th grade, taking part in an in-school curriculum. And this is kind of the culminating event for their hard work and effort to come and shoot bullseye, as well as then there'll be about 300 that shoot 3D or a little bit more. So that'll be fun. That's an 80 centimeter target, indoor, all bullseye. But I can see, like we often hear some of our archery leaders and stuff talking about is 5-spot, where they get 5 arrows with 5 different targets to try to hit not just the bullseye, but also the X in the middle of that target. And after seeing how our archers in the Archer in the Schools going after that one single bullseye, how tightly they can clump some of those arrows, because we just got back from North Platte and the Western Archer in the Schools regional event, I can see why you might want to spread each of those arrows out. That gets expensive when you start bouncing them off each other and shooting one arrow with the other.
Yeah, unfortunately, some of those nice arrows fall apart pretty fast when you hit the back of them.
Yeah, one right. I like to spread them out regardless of whether it's a 5-spot or a 3D, just to save on arrows.
Yeah,
is what it is. So now, have your sons, at least one of your kids, Julia, has picked up?
They were. They spent some time here in 4-H. Unfortunately, because of other things going on in life, we haven't been able to make it back yet. But they really do enjoy it. And my oldest enjoys shooting more. Then I think he comes here and may be expressing some love for archery as well.
Right.
Yeah.
He was doing very well. He was listening pretty good on that.
Yep. At least he listens to someone.
My wife coaches
Ouch.
an archery team, and it is interesting hearing who she says which archers listen to and who they kind of they can hear them talking, but I'm not sure it's setting in. And it is. There's certain archers just seem to connect with certain coaches or instructors.
Right.
It's really interesting. Now, this is a program you took part in, Michael, when you were in school.
Yep. So whenever I was in school, way back when, I guess not that terribly long ago, but yep, I shot.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that, Hershey? Yep, I shot. 3 years, I think, 3 or 4 years. I think maybe I started when I was a freshman in high school. Started shooting. I think in our school district, eventually got to where 7th through 12th was shooting archery in the schools, and I don't know that my school district back home, if they do have it in the elementary school or not. I'm not sure. I don't keep up with them much anymore. But yep, I shot several tournaments. Our school would always put one on. There was a couple in the area that would put some on as well. Went to the Missouri State tournament twice. Never shot as good there as I did at our local tournament. I won a couple local tournaments, but went to the state tournament, had some fun.
Now, and this is something that if you want to see something cool, come out to the Sand Hills Global Event Center there, the Tractor House on the 16th Saturday, and check it out. We have fun. We have fun at our event. You walk in and it's, you can tell that this isn't just people flinging arrows at.
It is the Memorial
targets.
Stadium of archery of NASP.
There
I would
you
say
go.
that. It has that feel.
There you go. We've got a DJ. We got things going on.
Got the fun range.
So, and Michael, I'm going to ask you this because talking with some coaches who have had some Nebraska student archers out in other states, such as that one to our east, the one to the southeast of us, even I believe they've even gone west a time or two, and have experienced archery shooting and archery events or tournaments in other states besides Nebraska. What was the Missouri State tournament like compared to ours?
It was completely different. Dead silence. You were not to disturb the archers in any way, shape, or form.
So serious.
It was very serious. And they held theirs. I don't know if any of you guys have been far enough into Missouri to have ever heard of Tantera. It's a resort kind of down in the Lake of the Ozarks area.
Oh, wow.
And we shot there in some of they have these big ballrooms, and they would set up these basically ranges in some of these ballrooms, and we shot in there. And yeah, there was no DJ, no nothing. The crowd noise was kept to a minimum. Very, very serious endeavor. So.
Which compared that to ours, Julia, like you said,
The Memorial Stadium, it is loud.
There's archers on the line trying to not get pulled into the chicken dance and conga line. So serious scores being shot. That's amazing how well. But I did. That's exactly what I was hearing. I've seen one. I've seen a couple outside our borders. A few national ones. A couple of more local state type versions. Nothing as big as a state tournament yet, though. But heard of our neighbors to the east where it sounds like we don't even get to see our kids till they march them in, and they put their bows up on the racks and they shoot and then they march them out. And if you can't really clap until you're told to clap type thing. And whew, ours, we've kind of gone the opposite way. We've had some great sponsors and donors that have said, hey, we want to make this interactive. We want the crowd involved in it. We do shoot-offs and duels and all that type of stuff, or we want some hooting and hollering going on. Nothing completely to distract them, but
no.
We do play music, and it actually has helped our archers because it kind of helps them relax. In fact, Rachel, when we've had some groups from Kansas, Iowa, and South Dakota come to one of our regional shoots, they love listening to the DJ. They love requesting songs, and they enjoy it. They come back, which is pretty cool. So, all right, have you got them all tallied up? Then that was just archery.
That was just archery, yes.
That was just archery. What else you got on your list? You got a whole list.
Well, yeah. So for pistol, we have air pistol, 22 pistol, centerfire pistol, and again for this, and we'll talk about rifle here first. But we have rifle with BB, air gun or air rifle, 22. Center fire, but with either of those, you could shoot bullseye, you could shoot inside, you can shoot outside, you can shoot silhouettes, you can shoot steel plates, you can shoot fast, you can shoot slow.
Whatever way you want to shoot, there's a way for you.
I'm going to say that sounded a little Dr. Seussical right in there. You're going to have to come up with a brochure that's that uses that. Now, which one is it that actually uses electronic scoring with the pistol or the rifle? Is it pistol?
It's both air rifle and air pistol. Typically, is what you see with electronic scoring. There is a way to do it for 22 for both those as well. Yeah.
Is there a way to do it for archery? How cool would it be? Like the bowling alleys, right? Mm-hmm. You know, you used to have to keep scoring those by hand, and that's kind of a lost art, but now it does it all for you.
Right.
Wouldn't that be cool where you'd have this board right up above you and people can tell what you're hitting down range?
It would be cool. I don't want to have to walk down range 10 times at the state tournament to score.
So those true electronic systems, they either use cameras or microphones in the box to tell where that shot went. They triangulate it basically because they have multiple in there to read it back onto a screen for you. It also keeps a receipt. There's a paper that chunks through it so that you can see a readout later to make sure that the computer did not mess up. Oh. Now, for larger targets, you can't fit in those little boxes that have either the microphones or the cameras in them. There are scanning systems, so you run the targets through a scanner or you take a photo. They're coming out with apps, and they get better and better all the time, where you can take a photo and it will score it for you.
Ooh,
there you go.
Yeah, I like that. Get a picture of that target face on archery, and it, boom, you got a 382.
Oh. Mm-hmm. But the most common ones that I've seen for archery at the moment are the ones where you have a tablet up at the target, and then that group, you usually have a group of 3 to 4 people that are scoring that target at the same time. One of them is in charge of entering those scores into a tablet so that it automatically takes it back to
and
the
then the other
office.
ones sign off on it or hit a.
The other ones are actually putting it on paper and doing a paper record as well.
A paper record just to back it up. That is interesting. So, looking forward to electronic scoring in archery. That's pistol and rifle. Mm-hmm. What else? I mean, you still got like a third of a page there.
Well, muzzleloader and black powder, or black powder, whichever you'd prefer to call it. Most typically is the long gun of that. There are pistols that are black powder too, but typically you don't see those in a lot of competitions except for maybe cowboy action or something fun like that. You can also shoot bullseye and silhouettes with those. Typically not done inside. There's a little bit of a haze that kind of surrounds the range.
That's the fun part.
Well, you still get it outside. It just kind of blows away eventually.
Oh, yeah.
Eventually. A little eggy.
Mm-hmm.
Very eggy.
And 4-H, I know hasn't got into the long range shooting yet, but I know that has gained popularity. We had a gentleman, Julia, that helped with our summer camps that had done some long range black powder events, and I don't know exactly who they were sanctioned by or if it was just kind of a fun thing by some local groups, but they were shooting out to 600 yards, I think it was.
Holy smokes.
With open sights. Now, I can't imagine.
Black powder?
Wowzers. Can you imagine the
something
recoil
else.
of that?
But thing is, you can aim and pull the trigger for boom, and then you can go and start reloading your gun and all that type of stuff. And by the time you're done, you can ding, and you might hear it hit. So, but
pretty much.
It's just amazing. That's a lot more skill than I have, which is kind of cool. You can take the shooting sports and be competitive, or just kind of, whether that's fun competitive or serious competitive. You've probably seen them both.
Mm-hmm. I tend to like the fun competitive.
The fun competitive.
Something that has some music, just like the state mass tournament, yeah.
Well, shooting sports is supposed to be fun, so there's no reason to be so serious about it.
But I also like the shooting that's not sports related. It's just kind of the recreation. Go out, enjoy, get ready for the hunting season, burn some powder, fling some arrows.
Sure.
Got a purpose, but I don't have to necessarily keep score and see that my partner beside me is beating me.
Yeah, you can take a target out and put some holes in it. You don't have to mark what the score is when you're done later or tell anybody about it.
So of those things, which do you think more Nebraskans take part in right now as far as the shooting sports, that the competitive side?
The competitive side, I'd say that shotgun trap is a real high participation level.
That's a big one. And
archery is another big one.
That one is, especially when like you said, that one's probably kind of chopped up a little bit. Trap, what is the ATA, American Trap Association, probably oversees a lot of the different activities that go on, whether it's the high school level or at the, I don't want to say adult level because there were some high schoolers that can outshoot a lot of us.
Club level.
That's
maybe.
why
Level,
you
the
have to.
sanctioned level.
That's why you have to have them in a separate category so they don't compete against the rest
Exactly.
of us.
But archery, we kind of divide those up a little bit more. So there's a whole bunch of them, but they're, one single area. They don't all shoot 3D. They don't all shoot indoor 500 or 300, that type of stuff. In fact, I know that like 3D, and this is one that always gets me kind of intrigued, Julia, is there's the unmarked 3D where you have to kind of guess or estimate the distance between where you're standing by the stake and the target. And then they have the marked 3D where they tell you exactly what that distance is. And then you have to pick the right pin and do the right thing. Mm-hmm. Now, at one time, it was kind of interesting, Michael, in that you generally see a little bit better scores at the unmarked 3D than the marked. Yeah. And it's kind of like, it's one of those things. I've got a pin that goes out to 20 yards, 30, 40 yards. But if you give me something at, 36 and a half, now it's kind of like, uh-oh.
Start second guessing which pin you're using, and pretty soon you get in your head. And
it also kind of just shows you there's just a little bit more. Distance is definitely a thing. With some of the innovations we have now, maybe a little less of a thing is everything else that goes into the shot. The mechanics of it, the process and the release and all that. So, that's pretty cool. So you got quite the job that you're undertaking here, because you're going to be helping build ranges for some of these disciplines, obviously, just like you said, and helping kind of get some introductory and intermediate stuff so folks can learn more about it, as well as explore it a little bit more and maybe gain some skills. Julia, I know you do a lot of introductory stuff for your expos that we were talking about, as well as some of the She Goes Outdoors and Becoming an Outdoors Woman program.
For the adult program, yep, for the Becoming an Outdoor Woman. And I guess these events that we have coming up that we were talking about, the Outdoor Discovery program, is introductory as well. Youth having the first time opportunity to shoot a shotgun or archery, which is always fun to see.
Archery is probably at all of them, right?
It is, yep.
Shotgun at a couple of them?
Yep. Yes, 2 of them. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is there only one muzzleloader range?
Yes, actually, I take that back. There's only one shotgun range, too, because of the age range at these other events and the venues. We only offer shotgun at Fort Kearney.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. I get to be on the muzzleloader range. Were you on the muzzleloader range? No, you weren't here last year.
No, I wasn't. Well, I was here for the ODP, but I was on the archery range last year.
Okay. All right.
I opened my mouth that I was a NASP kid, and Jeff's like, we know where you're going.
Jeff's always looking to replace himself.
Yeah, he is.
It's something about the shooting sports. He's gone, we get to talk about it.
Sure.
And he's gone, so other people get to work a shooting range.
Yep.
So
pretty much.
But the archery kind of is one that fits in a lot of spots. I have fun on the muzzleloader, the black powder range there. That one is usually done at Platte River.
Right. Feels fast, too.
Oh,
kids are really the schools pick it because they connect the historical piece of it, the black powder, back to the 4th grade standards as well.
And I think it's pretty cool because we've got some teachers that love bringing their kids back, and I think they enjoy shooting the black powder rifles that we have out there as well. But it's kind of neat because you get to make a big noise, and you get to see a cloud of smoke if it's not too breezy out there, and it really doesn't kick a whole bunch. No. I don't know what it is about black powder, but it's just kind of neat how it's balanced and makes a big noise, but not much bite.
The luxury of muzzleloader is you get to pick your own powder load when you're putting that in there, because you're not taking a cartridge and just sticking it in the gun. You get to put that set of powder in there. You put your own bullet or round ball in there, put it all down, and get it ready to go. It takes a little bit more time, but you have more control over the process.
Now, that reminds me, Julia, do you remember at the Fort Kearney Outdoor Expo Public Day when we would have the shotgun range is still there, but we would oftentimes have some folks from the Nebraska Muzzleloaders Association come out and do some black powder shotguns, which was interesting, Michael, because every time people would say we can only hear the muzzleloading shotguns going off. That's all we can hear. They have a bigger boom, all that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. But just like you mentioned, Rachel, oftentimes we were the instructors that were working that into the range, very specific in their charges when it came to powder. And there were times where if it wasn't for the smoke and the blue rock exploding in air, you'd have no idea that you're the one that just shot it. I mean, it was pretty impressive. In fact, that was where we put a lot of those that were going to be a little bit more nervous about recoil into it. So that was a lot of fun. Now you've got those coming up again, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
You got school days, the outdoor discovery programs in the public day. What do you, off the top of your head, you know when the Fort Kearney Outdoor
I
Expo?
do. It happens to be May 11th, Saturday, May 11th, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Fort Kearney State Recreation Area. There, you'll have the opportunity to try your hand at shotgun and archery. We will have some muzzle loaders there, but I think they're shooting like blanks, so they're just kind of demonstrating the process rather than us shooting. 3 different pellet gun ranges. One's going to be provided by Pheasants Forever. One's going to be 4-H, and then we'll have ours as well that we set that's right next to the shotgun range. Nerf guns too.
Okay.
We didn't have that on the list. We didn't have Nerf gun on there.
True.
Oh, we
You
didn't
missed
have
it.
Nerf gun.
No, we didn't.
We didn't. Is that why the 4-H trailer's sitting in my parking spot?
For the Nerf guns?
Well, not
Yeah,
the
all
Nerf
the Nerf
guns,
guns.
but there's a 4-H trailer. Everyone has their parking spot. We've all been bumped a little bit, but mine's being taken by a 4-H
it may
trailer
be
right now.
coming. It may be staved there till Kearney. Yeah.
Oh boy. All right.
We'll see what we can do for you. I think it's supposed to go back and get a different jack put on the hitch, so it may take a vacation.
I might
before it
have
goes
it
to Kearney.
for a day
Yeah.
or two.
Yes.
Oh, that's good to hear. Because I walk some, but not a lot. I whine about it more than anything. Julia, you also have the Becoming Outdoor Woman program.
Yeah.
You guys have started not just, all right, here, try this, and then walk away. You've got some series and some extended opportunities. Tell us a little bit about those.
Yeah, so women have this. They want to get into shooting sports, but we've had some introductory workshops, but they don't really get enough out of it to continue to feel and have the comfort to go out on their own or develop that skill. So we'll have like a 2-hour workshop, but technically in that 2-hour workshop, you may be just becoming comfortable with holding the firearm, not necessarily getting to the skill of firing the firearm or shooting the firearm. So what we have created is these series of workshops, and they'll take place at Platte River State Park. We're also going to be expanding them to our new range in Kearney as well.
Ooh, all right.
Even here right at the Turpin Outdoor Education Center. Ladies are meeting once a week, I believe. Yeah. And having their hands at archery or in the shooting range. So we're seeing some consistency of the women coming back and wanting that support to grow. Because we're opening, we have these ranges across the state. Women, our public don't even really recognize that they're there. We're going to have a ladies' day on the range, a statewide event. So several of our ranges across the state are going to be specifically inviting women from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on April 27th. And so women are invited to go to the ranges and try their hand at different disciplines that are offered at those venues.
April 27th.
April 27th.
Which is a Saturday.
It is a Saturday from 9 to 11 a.m. So we've been talking a lot about the Platte River State Park range. They're going to be doing it there, here at the Turpin Outdoor Education Center, the Kearney Outdoor Education Center. I think we got Ponca now on board, and Shadron, I believe, is also on board. We're hoping to add some more here soon too.
Ooh, there you go. Keep your ears and eyes open for that, folks. You might find that right next to you if you want to give it a try. And that'll be different disciplines.
It'll be different disciplines. Okay. It'll fit into what that venue has to offer, what the experience or the equipment is in those facilities. And it'll be kind of like an open campus. You don't have to necessarily be there right at 9 a.m., but if you come in between that 9 a.m. and 11 time frame, check out the facility, check out the staff that are working there. We're hoping to have a BOW representative at each of those locations if it's possible. So even come just learn about the program.
That'd be pretty cool if across the state at all the different ranges that day there was one shot fired off at exactly like 9:05.
Oh, that would be super fun.
Wouldn't that be?
Maybe we'll have to do that. Yeah, I like it.
Across the state.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Guys, we got to kind of put a fork in it there. We got a lot more to talk about when it comes to shooting sports as well as just the fun form of recreational shooting that we all enjoy. Rachel, we're going to have to get you back to talk a little bit more about what's going to happen in the first couple of years in this new position as being not just a shooting sports coordinator, but the range coordinator as well, and some of the plans that you have, because I know you're working on a lot of different things, getting ready to do some travels across the state as well. And Michael, we just have to get ready for the Archery in the Schools program.
Yep.
We've got it kind of easy right now.
Yep, we've got a singular focus.
Yes,
Kids
laser
slinging
sharp.
arrows.
Well, the good
Laser
news is I
sharp.
saw some trophies back there.
Well, yeah, the trophies just showed up for that. I didn't expect that many, so I don't know what we're all giving them out for. We got them invading in the cabin here as well from this past weekend. But yeah, hey, there's a lot of great archers here in the state of Nebraska. A lot of them happen to be somewhere in middle school, elementary, or high school here in the state of Nebraska. So we're going to reward that as well as their coaches. So, folks, if you've got any thoughts, questions, ideas, make sure you put in the comments down below. Maybe tell us what you remember shooting first, or the thing that you like to shoot the most often even now. Be sure to give us a thumbs up or like on Facebook so you know when the next one of these drops. But until next time,
Hunt Nebraska, brought to you by your Nebraska Game and Parks Commission.